Hey there, welcome. I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, your host for the Night Sky this week for June 20th, 2022. Welcome wherever you are watching me today or recorded. Thanks for joining up. I'm here every Monday sharing my picks of what neat things are happening in the heavens above and the cosmos. I've got the comments open. I love seeing where you're all joining me from. I've got folks from Texas, from California, from New Jersey, Southampton, UK, people from all over. I love watching this. And just put your comments in and tell me what you're been watching. What have you been looking at in the skies above? Of course, a lot of action is happening in the morning skies, but there's also beautiful things in the evening sky, especially for those that are just starting out in the hobby. Some great stuff. So let me dive right in. But before I do, let me share, of course, stay tuned till the end of the program because you'll get a chance to win a copy of my book, The Backyard Guide to the Night Sky, thanks to my publisher, National Geographic. And they'll be sending you a copy if you get a chance to win. So just stay tuned, just watch the show, and at the end we'll be doing a raffle on that. So let's dive into the sky. So here's the planetarium program for this week. This is set up for the evening sky, looking towards the southwest. And don't worry, we'll be talking about planets as well in the morning skies. I know a lot of you guys have been hearing things, and maybe perhaps you saw my article in nationalgeographic.com, a guide I've done for National Geographic on how to get the best views of this beautiful alignment of planets. But here we are in the evening sky. No planets in the evening like there was back in the winter and fall last year. But one of the things that I wanted to just get folks, point them to something that really is one of those groups of stars that are iconic for this time of the year. We're turning a season. We're going into the summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere, and in the north, one of these iconic groups of stars we call the summer triangle. And I just wanted to point that out today to folks because, you guys, this is probably the best way to begin learning about the hobby of astronomy, is using these kind of iconic, eye-catching signposts in the sky. Now, what's great about the summer triangle? It's a 3-for-1 deal, obviously, because like the name suggests, it's a triangular formation, and each point vertex of the triangle is represented by a very bright star. These stars are here: Deneb, Vega, and Altair. Now, all three of these stars are visible even within city limits. If you have severe light pollution, these three stars are still visible from most light polluted cities even. And you might not see much else, but you'll see the summer triangle. Now, these three stars are really neat because they're rising in the east and traveling over the southern sky over the course of the night. So here it is around midnight. You can see it's in the east. And what I'll do is I'll just put it 1 hour later and show you that how it's traveling higher in the sky. I'm going to zoom out so you can see there. Let me put the asterism on. And that's what this is. This is a asterism called the summer triangle. You can see the name right there. Let me just bring it down. There you can see it. Northern, and you see other names as well. I'll go into those as well. But let me just take these off again. So what's really neat about the summer triangle is that it is pointing to three very distinct constellations, and each of these constellations hold really neat deep sky treasures, and we're not going to go delve into all of that now. What I want you to do this week is really be able to pinpoint this group of three stars. You can see them 1, 2, 3 down here as well. That's Altair over there. This is Deneb. Now what's neat is Vega is the brightest of the three stars. It represents the lead star in the constellation Lyra the harp. If I zoom in, you can see the mythological figure of the harp, and that's the constellation Lyra. Off to the left of that is Deneb. Deneb is not quite as bright, but it almost holds its position in terms of competing with Vega. What's really neat is that Vega is 25 light years away, while Deneb is a whopping estimated 1,400 light years away, 1,400 light years away. That's how long, 1,400 years is how long the light takes to reach your eye from the star Deneb. And Lyra is only 25 light years. So what does that tell you? If they're competing in brightness and Deneb is so much farther away, it means Deneb is probably a very luminous star, a powerhouse, a monster of a star, and it can compete with a star that's so much closer in terms of brightness. So Deneb marks another constellation called Cygnus the Swan. And it's also marked by, it's the head of what we call the Northern Cross. You can see the head of the Northern Cross is right here by Deneb. Then there's the body of the cross. The arms are marked by here. I'm marking them out for you there. And then there's another star down here. And then finally a last star down at the bottom. So all of these stars mark out what we call the Northern Cross. Another, what we term an asterism. It's not necessarily a constellation, an asterism. It's just a bunch of eye-catching stars that form a distinctive figure that we see with our human eye. It could be, that's what the summer triangle is. It's 3 different constellation bright stars that form this one singular pattern we call the summer triangle. So Deneb is that head of the cross. But if we look at the mythological figure, that's very clear here. It's a swan in flight. You can see the neck of the swan. The head of the swan is marked by a star called Albireo. And then the tail of the swan is actually, in this case, marked by Deneb. And then the wings are where the cross that we were talking about, the Northern Cross, the arms of that cross go and reach out for the left and right wing of Cygnus. So that is the second star is Deneb, and that's a whole other constellation of Cygnus is where you can really go around with, sort of just cruise around with your binoculars, and it's quite something to see that. Also, what is particularly interesting is that the Milky Way band runs right across down the length of Cygnus the Swan, or the Northern Cross. So in this case, you have this beautiful marking. You have the summer triangle. If you don't know where you're looking, you look for that summer triangle, you find where that Northern Cross is, and you just look down the length of that cross, that you'll see the Milky Way band runs across there. So if you're in the city, obviously you're not going to see the Milky Way. It's just way too faint because of all that light pollution. But if you take your binoculars or your telescope and you go and cruise around this area, you'll see it's jam-packed with like millions of stars, like literally clouds of stars, just like how you see it in this configuration here in this planetarium program. So that's a really, really neat configuration. And of course, now we're at the last star of the summer triangle, and that's marked by Altair in the constellation Aquila the Eagle. There you can see the whole eagle mythological constellation. Now it's a lot fainter than what's really available in city skies. So I wouldn't really look for many other stars unless you're looking with binoculars or you're in very dark skies to see the entire Aquila constellation. But Altair is easy to see, even within city limits. Obviously, you need unobstructed skies. You have to find a spot with no trees or buildings in the way. But if you do that, you'll be able to see all three stars, each representing a different constellation: Vega in Lyra, Deneb in Cygnus, and Altair in Aquila. So you've got all these great constellations that you can begin learning about the night sky using this landmark configuration called the summer triangle. So I hope you guys try that out. Now, if we turn our attention to the morning skies, there we get some interesting things. So let's set this up for just before sunrise, say about a half hour before sunrise. This is where we're at on Tuesday morning. So Tuesday, this June 21st, you'll have the moon joining, look at that, Jupiter. So this is really neat. So best time to see this is obviously about an hour to half hour before your local sunrise, so you don't get that glare from the coming sun, rising sun, blocking out these planets. These planets look like bright stars. Some of them are fainter looking stars, little points of light. And then, of course, the moon is there in the mix, the crescent moon guiding us to each of these planets over the course of many days. So this is a great alignment. We haven't seen an alignment of all the major planets. We have Mercury closest to the sun down here in the northeast. Then you have Venus, you have Mars. In between, you have Uranus, even an ice giant that you need binoculars and telescopes to see. Then you have Jupiter and Saturn. But these five, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, are the five classical naked eye planets seen first by ancient cultures. That's why we call them classical. They're visible to the unaided eye. You don't need telescopes and binoculars. They're visible even within city limits. And this configuration hasn't been seen since about I think it was 2004, December, the last time. And we don't get another chance to see them clustered so tightly, so well positioned until the year 2040. So it's a great opportunity to see all these different planets. And like I said, even Uranus and Neptune is in there too in the mix, but you need to get up a little earlier, obviously, to see. There you go. It pops in about an hour before sunrise. There's Neptune between Jupiter and Saturn. And Mercury is right there next to Jupiter Tuesday morning. And if we move to the rest of the week, by Wednesday, the moon is going to be next to Mars. So you'll see that orange, very distinctive orange point of light next to the moon. Just a beautiful pairing. Again, this is what we call a conjunction. That's the technical name. So this, again, is on Wednesday. And this is, the date is June 22nd. June 22nd. And then by June 23rd, you can see moon is on the other side of Mars. So Wednesday, and then basically by Friday, June 24th, this is the one I would actually get up for. If you're all going to get up for one night, make sure, obviously, one morning and it's clear, then this is the one that you should get up for because it's really beautiful. You'll have Mercury, Venus, the moon, Mars, and Jupiter and Saturn in a beautiful lineup. You can see the moon kind of joins that parade of planets really nicely. So again, this is Friday, June 24th. Is mark that down on your calendar. I think that's probably the most beautiful lineup right there, because the moon kind of joins that parade really nicely. And then if we continue on our effort, and before I do that, actually, if you do have binoculars or a telescope, that is something that you can actually look at, is the other planet, Uranus, which is going to be next to the crescent moon. So if I zoom in, you can see right there, there's Uranus, there's the moon. So get out your binoculars, find the moon first, obviously, with the naked eye, get your binoculars out, and then sweep just to the left of the moon. And if I just measure the distance between these two objects, let me see if I can get a measurement. 6 degrees. So approximately a little bit more, or about the width of your hand. If you make it into a fist, okay, you make it into a fist like this, and you hold it out at arm's length, all right, like that, the width of your fist, okay, that is about what the distance between the moon and Uranus will be, approximately. I mean, everyone's is different, hands are different, and obviously, but this is just a general guide of what you can expect. But that's where you'll see the two together. Really neat. So check that out if you can. Again, that is Friday, June 24th. As a bonus, if you have binoculars and telescopes, look for Uranus, the ice giant. It's over 2 billion kilometers away from the Earth. Imagine that, and you can see it next to the moon, which is only about 400,000 kilometers away. So what a vast difference between these two worlds, isn't it? And they're not only different in size, but distance and what they're made of. Uranus is an ice giant with a methane atmosphere, very frigid at the edge of the solar system. And there you have the moon being right next to it. And then, of course, to the lower left, you see Venus. So if we go farther, if we go to Saturday, you'll see the moon closer and closer to Venus. So Saturday, June 25th, and then Sunday, this is Sunday, June 26th, another amazing kind of highlight right there. Let me just take these deep sky objects off, and look at that. You'll have the moon and Venus pairing right next to each other. Really very impressive. Again, this is Sunday morning, looking towards the east, northeast direction. Gotta get up early. I would say at least about an hour to a half hour before your local sunrise. Find that spot that's really clear towards the eastern horizon, and you can see this on Sunday morning coming up. So lots of fun. No need for binoculars or telescopes to actually enjoy it. If you don't have them, that's still fine. It's actually going to be beautiful. And take pictures with your smartphone too. Don't forget that. That's going to be really impressive. If you can take some photographs of this pairing of the lineup of the planets, you can do that with your smartphone. Today, smartphones have amazing cameras on them, and share that. My friends at Astronomers Without Borders that I do help out and work with, they're doing basically an awareness of that we share the same sky in a campaign of taking pictures of this alignment, all these alignments of the planets. And you can share that using the hashtag #OnePeople1Sky. I'll put that in the comments there. So if you do take pictures, share it on your social and use the hashtag #OnePeople1Sky, and Astronomers Without Borders will share it with folks around the world. So something cool. So now, without further ado, let's do our little giveaway of my book. Yay! So here's my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It's fantastic, I think, because it's great for beginners or for even more seasoned astronomers. If you're looking to buy telescopes or binoculars, or you're learning about how to navigate in the night sky, a little bit of science, not too heavy on it, just something easy. You don't have to be a physicist to understand the night sky. You just have to have curiosity and a little bit of patience and some clear skies and a good guidebook. And that's what this is. So I will give out a copy of this book to a lucky winner, to the 12th person who writes in the comments the words "the night sky," "the night sky," across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, if you're writing that out, I will look at the 12th person who says the night sky, and I will make sure you get a copy of my book. How about that? So, all right. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching it and you like it, then please show your support by hitting that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. I'm here every Monday sharing my passion for the night sky with all of you. And you can also show your support by liking the video and sharing it on your social feeds. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to see you all on the next video next week. And until then, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.